Hi guys.
Hello. Today we prepared a video how to fight the easiest artificial intelligence within Soulstorm, Dawn of War Soulstorm, and this is Dark Eldar. We firmly believe that Dark Eldar is not the strongest, but on the opposite side of the spectrum, not in general, but I mean it's just insane artificial intelligence. We are playing on the map called Meeting of Minds, which is a regular tournament or ranked game map, and we are playing for Space Marines. We are starting with the standard build order, which is scouts, then one builder and scouts to have some map control, and then we will focus on building the bulk of our brute force. That means at first force commander to harass their base, and tactical marine squad, or they are called in Soulstorm just Space Marines. And as you can see, even Velenek is dressed as the Space Marine. We don't have the perfect costume, but at least this Star Wars is like resembling it a bit.
Star Wars is very close to Space Marines.
Yes, especially probably to Chaplain, but you don't want to be Chaplain, yeah? That's why.
No, Chaplain is Spider-Man. There.
Yeah. And normally, Dark Eldar, who are our opponents, they are very harassment-heavy faction. So they have the infiltration of Mandrakes, which are their close combat cappers, capping the points, like those strategic points, and they can aggressively push us in the early game if they are played by a human player, but this is not the case. We can build a skull probe out of the listening post for 55 requisition, which adds vision or detection. So also you are not fully lost, even if you forgot to build this skull probe, because listening posts have some detection radius of 7, which is anyway rather small, and this we mentioned just that you are fully informed about your defensive options. But we don't want to focus on defense. We want to push the computer as soon as possible, and we strongly believe that the defense of the Dark Eldar is not enough, because they are harassment faction themselves, so they should push us and annoy us, but the computer is not playing it this way. He's just sitting in his base until some time, and so we can bring the war on him. Yeah, that he will be forced to use his harassment units in defense, which is not the role which fits them the best. See, we already found the spot where, just in front of their base, this is their first one of the first listening posts. We are harassing it with just one squad of tactical marines and force commander. The tactical squad has the skull probe attached already. By the way, skull probe is not invisible to the enemy, so you have to be careful not to lose it. I put the listening post on hotkey, just that I can replenish the skull probe as soon as possible if needed. And we are using, as was in the text, better survivability of the Space Marines. They are much more tough than the basic warriors, but we are not facing the warrior squad, but Mandrake squad. Those are just units in melee. They are equipped with knives. They can be upgraded to be infiltrated, and means invisible, and they can be upgraded with poisonous blades to make even more damage. So we are just sitting there on one spot. We are also active on the map, and I guarantee that this doesn't feel like playing against insane artificial intelligence because of this early push we just made. It's just not yet 5th minute, and you can see that we have more than half of a map already under control, or let's say just about half of the map, but more of the critical locations. And our army is supported with the skull probe, so it can sit on the spot and shoot like incoming defenders. And now it's probably just the phase of the game where we just have to hold ground. Another Mandrake squad is running into us, but what can they do against such a huge infantry number of units? I just chose this strategy, which is not like, for example, harassment with assault space marines or scouts, but something which is very solid, where we have a strong army on the spot, which is very durable, and it's also quite easy to micromanage such army. It doesn't need against computer much of the micromanagement. We already have armory, so we can reinforce our squads with better weaponry. Flamers are good, as was mentioned in our previous videos, in breaking the morals of enemy troops, and we are simply outnumbering them heavily, even with the scouts inside the base, and we are already taking their own listening posts. By the way, Dark Eldar, they really don't have much hit points, and even though they have good damage output, their squads are somewhat smaller. Do you know, Velenek, something about the lore? I mean, the story about the Dark Eldar. Are they good guys or bad guys? What do you think?
Bad guys, but I don't know the story.
They are pretty bad, and they are more like space pirates who are just organizing some raids on the territory of other people, especially against the Imperium, and they are taking slaves. So they are just hoarding a lot of slaves, and so also their worker in this game is in fact so-called tortured slave. Now we decided to build a Chaplain because he has we are already on tier 2, and he has a lot of useful abilities like healing aura, so he will even add to our standing force a lot, because we'll withstand more damage. We are already damaging their main building, so those are like back to the previous idea. They are like space pirates specializing in quick raids and harassment. I believe they are also the only faction which has vehicles on tier 1 already. But against space marines, early vehicles are probably not so dangerous, because they are quite flexible. Even though their missile launchers, which are anti-vehicle, they are not immediately available. They are available on tier 2. So still those jet bikes of Dark Eldar can be unpleasant. And we are just sitting there and for half of the game and just shooting their buildings, because we really brought the conflict to them, and we are just liberating the poor slaves. We are already doing this economic upgrades to improve our mining rate. Is it okay to breathe in this helmet, or is it? Don't you feel hot or something?
No.
Okay, perfect. And see, their base is already half vanquished. They have some. I even didn't study their abilities so much. I know that they have so-called like soul abilities, that from dead bodies they can collect so-called soul resource, especially their workers collect it, and they can use it for some global spells, like for breaking moral of the troops. So probably that's why our troops, even though they were not under direct attack or were in the crisis of morale for some time, were like broken. If you have a broken squad, the squad has very poor damage output, only 20%.
Well, yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, so you are a space marine, you are not a Dark Vader, so you can just strip off your helmet. It's okay, I think we are already winning, so probably the helmet is not necessary at this point. See, no bullets are flying, so we can be easier on ourselves. And this planet has atmosphere, apparently, that there are some trees and it looks like on Earth, even though for sure it's not Earth. And we also capture the map, so just 30 seconds until taken hold victory.
More like victory than victory.
Yes, I sometimes mispronounce, and we are just finishing off last buildings. By the way, to achieve annihilation victory, you don't have to destroy every single building, you just have to destroy the production buildings of the enemy. And taken hold victory sooner than destroying every single building. And you can see that our military score is much higher, and we lost 0 units in this battle against insane artificial intelligence, which was Dark Eldar. So if you want to beat fair and square artificial intelligence on Insane.
Now thanks for watching.
And thanks for watching, guys.
Okay, F10.